Oh, so I'm talking to dinosaurs, talking with my sister, who's highly intelligent, and didn't know that there's never been the skull of a T-Rex or any other dinosaur found ever. And this is one of the things that dinosaur lovers, they don't
They never
understand.
think about.
Yeah, it's like, wait a second. You know that dinosaur head that you've seen on a skeleton at, the Smithsonian and other museums around the world? Yeah, all of that. Just invented by, unfortunately, you have unscrupulous artists. So that was crafted by, somebody.
They found a tooth, right?
Say again?
They found a tooth, right? And then they're just like, oh, this is obviously a T-Rex.
No, they found a toe.
Oh, a toe.
Yes.
A toe?
Yes. Not even a toe. One of the last phalanges of a toe. So not even a whole toe. And it's like, did they really find it? Or did somebody just take a piece of bone and grind it into a shape and say, look, see this bone? This bone, it belonged to a beast 32 ton heavy. That for sure. I mean, look. It's like, and people believe this, and people do. It's so sad. It's so sad. I was thinking recently of what the perturbations of the globe belief in the spirit of a man or a woman, like in the consciousness, in the psyche. Okay, it's like this. The globe says the majority of the species on Earth are extinct. Now there's only a minuscule number of them. And if you follow that trend, it's going to get to less and less and less and less, and then none. Like, that's just bullshit. Like a huge portion of those extinct species are dinosaurs that never existed. How about we look at the real record of how many species have gone extinct? Because all the ones that go from dinosaur back, all of them are just bullshit. So let's look at real species that are extinct. We don't know how many. Sure, there'll be some. The majority, 95% of them? No, that's bullshit. That's not true. And it's demonstrably not true. Now, the globe says majority of species extinct. We're one of those species. Those species, a big chunk of them extinct from a worldwide catastrophe that came from outer space. We're on a ball traveling through outer space. Thankfully, the sun takes us with it. But we could slam into something unpredictable out there in space, or something could slam into us. Different, Earth hitting something, or something hitting the Earth. Okay, slight difference. Still, if we were to hit something that was maybe traveling downwards, and we were traveling upwards at 666,000 miles per hour, going round with the sun, and we smacked into something, that would be history. Now, that's not true. All of that's not true. The idea that under your feet, there's a big bulk of earth, and then surface under that earth, and water, and Australians, and New Zealanders, and air, and space under your feet. So earth, core, space, that's not true. What's under our feet is earth. That's what's under our feet. Can we go further and describe what's, at further depths? No, we can't. Neither can globelings. But the idea that it's a ball, it's false. And what it does to the psyche, and they put this in psyche of very young children, by the way. When they start teaching them about the ball, just about the time that they've learned what a circle is, and a triangle, and a square, and what yellow is compared to red and blue, that kindergarten stage, that's when they teach them the globe. And this idea is embedded from back then. This idea of just space, emptiness, out there-ness, and a precarious future where everything could at any instant just vanish. Any instant, it could just boom, that's it, it's finished. NASA didn't expect this invisible satellite to hit us or whatever, you know? It's just a sinister, it's such a nasty thing to do. And in order to support that, to invent monsters like dinosaurs, just because crocodiles exist, it's like, see, crocodiles exist, therefore dinosaurs. It's like, no, giraffes exist. Giraffes exist. Where's the therefore dinosaurs from giraffes? Oh, you got the big ones with the big. You've got that. Yeah, from giraffes. No, they can't explain giraffes. They can't. They can't explain giraffes. They can't explain worms. They can't explain the fruit fly. They can't explain anything, these guys. But they can explain mathematical orbits. Wow, fascinating.
Oh my God. Well, you know that one experiment where they show a feather and a bowling ball, I think.
Yeah.
So a feather and a bowling ball in the vacuum chamber, and then when it drops, they both drop, but then the camera changes immediately, and then it goes switches to a different camera view of them zoomed out, and look, it's falling at the same, and then it switches camera views again. It's like, well, like you're showing me a video of like there's at least 3 to 5 camera switches in that, like that's not proof that, first off, there's no such thing as a pure vacuum on the Earth that can be 100% replicated as it's so-called theoretical in space. There's no it can't be done the same way because it can't work like that. There's no such thing as a pure vacuum on the Earth. But they say that, first off, that's true, and then they'll admit that. They will admit that. But then when you point that out to them, well, what, you're just showing me a video of camera changes. Like, you can edit that. Well, no, they wouldn't lie. The NASA would never lie to you. SpaceX, and listen, NASA, SpaceX, and there's like 25 other space companies. And they don't all work together. They don't all work together. They would never lie. It would take like, wait, so you just trust them. You trust them, I don't. You trust them, I don't. That's the line. Look, here's the line. You trust them, I don't. It's simple.
We have Twitwit in the chat saying, why do you think dinosaurs never existed? I would say, why do you think dinosaurs did exist? Like, just for a second, because I take it you're an intelligent woman, just picture this. If the toe of a T-Rex managed to survive, how did the skull of that very same T-Rex not survive? How did that happen? I'm gonna wait, see what she says. It's like this. Well, what happened was the toe was in mud and the skull was in the air, and in the air it just vanished like the World Trade Center. See? Makes
I think
sense.
that particular dinosaur was applying oil of Ulay to his big toe frequently on a regular basis, which helped preserve the toe bone, which then from the toe bone, which just happened to be like the end bone right at the bottom, they managed to reconstruct a whole sophisticated, elaborate skeleton of a creature.
Okay, so I chose the option which is dinosaurs don't exist and they were invented. If you're saying, okay, let's say that that's true, why do you think they invented dinosaurs? I just said it in that little narrative where, and this is for the people who wanted to see it again, where that dinosaur goes, right? That's why, to place a timeline, and in that timeline bring destruction, like planetary destruction to all of the things on the Earth. That's why they invented them.
Why
At least partially.
Yeah. Why would they make up a gravitational field and a gravitational pull and what do you mean like to back up their scams. So it's bullshit on top of scam. It's like it's bullshit on top of vomit. Let's see here. Never ending. Like it's Ponzi scheme inside of Ponzi scheme inside of Ponzi scheme. That's what the whole entire thing is. Everyone is conditioned. This entire world, this entire plane, every single one of us. That's why when people go on stage at a comedy club, there's comedians that want to be funnier than the other comedians. And that's why when you go into a lecture hall at Harvard or Yale, there's scientists that want to seem more intelligent than the other scientists. It's the same exact thing. There's no difference, and that's why you have certain comedians that make fun of the scientists, and then those comedians get taken more seriously than the scientists. And some, it's like, it's all related. It's all of us have been conditioned. We're born by parents who were brainwashed and conditioned. Unless your parents weren't brainwashed and conditioned, then all of us are brainwashed and conditioned. So
there's also this, okay, Dan, if you think about it, let's just go along with the story that the Earth somehow, without having enough gravitational pull to pull other chunks of rock, somehow will leapfrog that. It started being hot, and then it congealed on the surface, and it cooled, and vegetation, and creatures evolving to dinosaurs, who then all get destroyed, and the Earth goes back to a state where things can't really live on it. And then it cools down, and it goes back to vegetation and creatures. If it happened the first time round, why would dinosaurs not evolve again? Why would that not be what happens again?
Because of the asteroid.
Yeah, well, the asteroid hit the Earth and wiped the dinosaurs, and then reset. Okay, yes. Now you can start again. Come on, dinosaurs, start evolving.
Yeah, but that asteroid was so big and so just catastrophic that it destroyed a chunk of the ozone layer, and so it's been repairing. Time, and since there you go, I noticed. So since the giant asteroid that destroyed everything and nothing larger than a chicken survived, so it's been repairing itself. The ozone layer has been repairing itself from that from the asteroid, and that's why the oxygen, there's not enough oxygen because of that of the puncture of the ozone layer, and so there's not enough oxygen. So that's why everything is smaller now, and everything was larger back then, because there was more oxygen in the air, and so that was easier to grow and to be large. Now there's not enough oxygen to support our puny little bodies, so that's why it just makes little puny little monkey men and lizard people.
Right, so wait, let me get it straight. There was the globe, solid globe Earth, okay, with the moltenness inside, but solid overall on the surface with water, and a bubble of air. And an asteroid of some indeterminate size came in and punctured that bubble of air, and landed and fragmented, and over time the ozone layer knitted back up, as if the ozone layer had a hole punctured in it by the asteroid. Not was just depleted overall, you know, ozone, like O3 oxygen molecules together. Okay, so that not just, it went back to being built. So whatever put the air there in the first place, the atmosphere that was conducive enough for dinosaurs, would just go back to producing that much atmosphere with that much oxygen, that much air, and back to dinosaurs. If it could make it once, why would it not make it again?